My plant is dying. I woke up this morning and it looked like that one lady from SpongeBob. Yeah, it didn't look too healthy. So I soaked it in the juice of life and it appears to be slightly better. But I think it needs some help. I think we should name it. Will? Nah, that's too aggressive. How about Kevin? Kevin's too basic. Maybe Pete, because, Pete Davidson, this plant looks dead, he looks dead. Similar. Okay, great. Pete it is. Anyway, JID, his first studio album, The Never Story, and if this album sounds familiar, it's probably because he dropped his last studio album, The Forever Story, last year. Slight change of name. Now, this album is pretty great all the way through, so instead of discussing it track by track like I usually do, I wanted to discuss a few highlights on the album for me. So let's start with the opening track, Doo Wop.
Everyone's a star. Everyone's a star. Every day is the...
Now, although Doo Wop is very short, it evolves quickly into this tapestry of sound. It has subtle guitar licks, great percussions, and a haunting piano melody. Sonically, it's amazing. It feels like that scene in Ratatouille where the food critic finally tastes his food and he is transported back to a good time in his life. Everything is colorful. This is exactly how listening to this track sounds.
Everybody good, everybody trap perfect, everything cool, don't nobody act nervous, just to know the fact that you're...
Now, Never might be my favorite track on this album. It starts off with a very steady drum beat as well as piano chords. JID is talking about the sacrifices that he's made to get where he needs to be. A lot of fast rapping here. He comes off really fierce, but at the same time, his raps are really vulnerable. He offers listeners a glimpse into his journey so far, but nothing can prepare you for how great the beat switch up is on the second half of this song. It's just fucking fantastic. It just makes you incredibly hyped, and I'm definitely adding this to the playlist.
And if I'm trying to tell the truth, it's all bad.
All Bad is a very atmospheric track. It's quite minimalistic. It has this haunting piano melody, and JID is in his singing bag on this song. JID comes across as very raw on this track as he's dealing with his inner turmoil of isolation and living up to expectations. The refrain on the chorus is, "It's all bad," which can lead to how introspective this track is, making you ask yourself, is it all worth it? It's a powerful and diverse track with an excellent feature and shows JID's capabilities, which has only improved as his career has gone on.
Work like a vet, I don't work for a check, but I'ma run it up, you can bet.
8701 is a very atmospheric track, but it still sees JID performing at his best. As the beat drop, JID comes in with a really fast flow and some great one-liners. The beat is filled with synths and hi-hats. And Black's feature here, or how I typically say it, 6 Lakh's feature was the best on this album. He almost steals the show, but JID wasn't about to be showed up on his own song. The story here is the street life, how gritty it is, the harsh conditions, and what it's like growing up like that. It feels less like a story as JID's pen game makes you feel as though you're actually there experiencing it with him.
Everybody gotta be something. Everybody wanna be something. Be something.
Somebody is a heartfelt track that sees JID's exploration of self-identity and also his place in this world. He opens up about his insecurities, his fears, and the expectations that he faces. The production has some really soulful melodies as well as hard-hitting beats and also haunting piano that opens up this track. It almost feels kinda lo-fi. But like the other tracks on this album, JID has his metaphors, he has wordplay which sets him apart from his contemporaries, and if we're being honest, out of the new generation, JID is probably top 3. So that was JID's The Never Story, and I'm feeling like a decent 7. The Never Story is a beautifully produced album that from start to end takes you through the mind and expectations of Mr. JID. Now, although I've only spoken about a few songs on this album has no skips, no misses, no dips. This album has a lot of great bars, a lot of great one-liners, amazing wordplay, but I think my favorite is I got my choice route, I'm destined for greatness, which is a play on his actual name. It's fucking great. As I said before, his pen game is great, so is his ability to tell stories, and I think what helps that is his choice in features, which are all fantastic and help build the story that he's creating. This album also has great emotional depth and maintains its authenticity all the way through. However, on my research for this album, I heard a lot of people making comparisons to JID sounding like Kendrick or sounding like Vince Staples or Anderson .Paak. And to that I say, JID sounds like JID. Like, I get why you would make the comparisons, but it's like not a one-to-one comparison. And also, people were saying that his voice was kind of hard to get into. And honestly, his voice never struck me as something odd. But back to the album, the only complaint that I do have is that his hook game is kind of weak. It requires improvement because some of the hooks on this album it really wasn't it. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Links are in description. Let me know yours. Please follow me on opinion. I guess that's it. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Bye.